My name is Miranda Documentary and I'm 18 years old from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And when I was 6 years old, my dad picked up my sister and I from school, and on our way home, we were driving behind a convertible that looked like it had preteen girls driving it. The girls were standing up and they were dancing to very loud music. They were not wearing their seatbelts, and my dad was following them because under his breath I could hear him talking like, "This is not going to end well, this is not good, what are they doing?" And I remember just hearing tires screech and then a big thud. And then I looked up and there was smoke everywhere, and my dad quickly pulled the car over to the curb and ran out. And then as the smoke started to clear, I saw that the convertible with the two girls in it ended up crashing into a fence and getting into a really bad accident. When my dad ran over, he pulled the girl that was driving out. She seemed to be somewhat conscious, so he just laid her on the grass. But the passenger ended up going through the windshield, and I remember my dad pulling her through the glass, and her face was all bloody, and my dad quickly held onto her face and cradled her and tried to get her to talk, because it looks like she wasn't responding. She was just laying there, and I honestly thought that she was dead. My dad had the surrounding people that came to help if any way they could to call 911, and during that time he was just trying to talk to each girl and trying to keep them awake and get their names and any information that they could give. And the police and the firefighters and the ambulance all came, and the police officers were talking to the girl that was driving because she seemed to be awake now. And they took the girl that my dad was cradling into the ambulance and took her to the hospital because she was still not responding to anybody. The girl who was driving ended up telling the police that they were both 15 years old and did not have their license. They stole their parents' car to go for a little joyride. She was just hysterically crying as she was talking to the cops because she was so scared and in shock, and I'm sure that she was scared that she just killed her best friend. After my dad was done getting interviewed by the police and telling his story on what he saw and what happened, he ended up walking back to the car to my sister and I, and I remember seeing his Harley Davidson zip-up hoodie, one of his favorite ones, was all bloody, and he quickly took it off before we could see, or he thought that we saw, and got in the car and was just silent. He didn't say anything, and he made sure that we were okay. My sister asked what happened because we were just sitting in the car just watching everything happen, and we weren't getting any answers either. It turns out in the end that both girls did survive. The one that was driving, I think she just had some minor injuries, but the one that went through the windshield, the passenger, she ended up losing her eye, so she currently wears an eye patch, and she suffered some injuries as well, but they both are alive, which they are very lucky to be, because that was a very bad accident. Watching my dad help those girls showed me what kind of guy that he really is. And growing up, a little girl's dad is always her hero, but these kind of events really show me that my dad is an actual hero. He will put anybody above him. If they need help, he's always there. He's very selfless, and it just showed me that if I'm ever in need, or I know he will be there to help me get through anything that I need.